Earl Roethke, the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby, Earl Roethke.
I have this nightmare where I'm a jockey in the Kentucky Derby. Right, me, a jockey, right? And I'm surrounded by sleek, powerful thoroughbreds, chomping at the bit. Then I look down at my own mount. A mule? The race starts and the thoroughbreds charge off, but my mule doesn't move. I have figuratively been on that mule way too many times. When I needed to say something, but the words just wouldn't come. Have you ever known anybody like that? Who needed to say something? I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. But the words just wouldn't come. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I want to convince you tonight that if someone has something to say, they should just say it, because they may not get another chance. I'm going to take you back to a beautiful late summer day in 1962. It's my first day of school in a new town, Potosi, Wisconsin. I'm in the front of Mrs. Keener's third grade classroom when in she walks, Judy. Oh, the prettiest little red-haired girl you've ever seen. I was in love. I'd never been in love before, so I thought it was fate when I drew Judy's name to be her secret Santa that year. Do you think I was pushing it by giving Chanel No. 5 to an 8-year-old? I don't know. But what I do know is in the 3 years we went to school together, I never once told her how I felt. Back at the race, the thoroughbreds are rounding the first turn. My mule hasn't moved. I saw Judy for the last time on the last day of 5th grade. I have no idea how her life turned out. Would things have been different if I'd said something? We don't get to find out what would have happened. So if someone has something to say, they should say it, because they don't know if they'll get another chance. Fast forward 3 years. Again, first day of school in the new town, Platteville, Wisconsin. I'm in Mr. Nelson's 8th grade homeroom, and not 10 feet away from me is Debbie. Now, Debbie turned out to be a really smart cookie. She was also a beautiful young woman. Now, the problem is, I'm this 4'11", 89-pound shrimp thinking, she's totally out of my league. So although I worshiped her the whole year, I never once told her how I felt. Back at the race, the thoroughbreds are charging down the back stretch. My mule hasn't moved. Now, I did see Debbie again 4 years later, first day of college, also in Platteville. She's right there. And we talked for a while, but what I didn't do is ask to see her again. Back at the race, the thoroughbreds are coming around the final turn. My mule hasn't moved. And strange as it may sound, although we went to the same small college for the next 4 years, that was the last time I saw Debbie. Would things have been different if I'd asked to see her again that day? We don't get to find out what would have happened. So if someone has something to say, they should just say it, because they may not get another chance. One last time, first day of school in the new town, Blanchardville, Wisconsin. I'm a freshman in high school. I'm at my locker. I turn to my left, and I'm completely stunned, because not 3 feet away from me is the most beautiful young woman I'd ever seen in my life. Her name was Dolores, and she was not just beautiful. She had a lot of interesting and strong opinions about the world. She was also very popular with the older star athletes whom she dated. So do you think I ever said anything to her about I felt in the next 4 years? Back at the race, the thoroughbreds are charging down the home stretch. My mule hasn't moved. Graduation came. I went back to Platteville. Dolores went off to Eau Claire. Then in my freshman year, I did something that changed my life. I joined the college debate team. I had no experience. It was really hard at first. But later that year, we went to a tournament in Eau Claire where Dolores was studying. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the debate, which, like Toastmasters, teaches you to speak what you have to say. But I called her up. I said, Dolores, I'm in town for a debate tournament. It's 2 o'clock tomorrow, if you'd like to come and watch. And she said yes. Finally, my mule is moving down the track. All right. Now, I only saw her for an hour at the debate that year. But the next year, I called her again. And this time, we went out on a real date. We walked and we talked. We made snow angels. It was magical. And all too soon, it came time to say goodnight. We didn't kiss. But the air was charged with emotion. It was like an electrical current was connecting us as I let go of her hand. The next month, I sent her flowers not only on Valentine's Day, but also on her birthday. Less than 3 years later, we were wed. And last year, we celebrated 40 wonderful years of marriage. By finally speaking up, I won my own personal Kentucky Derby on a mule that proved it could run after all, turning a nightmare into a dream come true. So if someone has something to say, they should just say it, because they don't know if they're going to get another chance. And they're lucky when they do. Mr. Toastmaster.